Hi guys, so in this section we are gonna learn the basics, Unify code, and I'm gonna open this notebook in Colab. So I'm using Colab just because it's a bit easier to run everything and check the functions. I can do a local installation as well, so you can see the step-by-step guide here. So this is our documentation. So under the Get Started section, you can basically see how to install Ivy locally, set up the Docker, or just clone our GitHub repository. But for now, I'm going to stick to Colab and run the first style that will install Ivy in this instance of the notebook. After that, we will import Ivy, import torch, and define this function called normalize. So as you can see, normalize is composed of torch functions. So torch.mean, std, so standard deviation, that take as an input x, which is probably a torch tensor. So in a sense, if we want to use this function with TensorFlow, for example, we wouldn't be able to do that right now, just because if we set x to a TensorFlow a constant, for example, this function would return an error because we can't use torch with TensorFlow constants. So in order to overcome this issue, we can use ivy.unify. So I'm going to run this cell. That will basically take the normalize function and wrap it around Ivy agnostic code. An important thing to note here as well is that we are setting the source as well to torch. So we just pass torch as a string to this function. So now when I import NumPy, JAX, and TensorFlow, and I initialize X basically with different data types, so we can see how we set it to a NumPy array, JAX array, TensorFlow constant, and torch tensor. We change the backend basically to all of these sections. And then we run normalize with X of different data types. We will see how at this point we can basically use normalize with any kind of data type. So when the cell loads, okay, it loaded, we can see how basically the output is of type ivy.array, which is agnostic to the backend. So in case we want to return the output with the original data type, we can just type to a native. And let's check the type as well here. And we can see how basically for NumPy, where I set to print the type as well, we can see how the output is of type NumPy dot and the array. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to learn more, please follow our following tutorials as well. And thank you.